Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika, and here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. So, today I want to talk a little bit about this witchcraft life or the witchy life, and why, for me, why I kind of choose this life. So, today I woke up a little earlier than usual. I decided to go for coffee. Couldn't go to the gym, so I did a great workout available through my phone using, I think it's called Open Fit. My gym is providing this free resource since the gym is closed right now. So I'm doing like this guided workout this morning. Felt really positive about that. Finished that. Took a shower. Eased into my day. Um, had a light breakfast, and just thought about the best foods I could have for a healthy start. And forgive the traffic in the background, by the way. I got all the windows open, but more to that later. So I'm basically walking you through this kind of day-to-day experience where I kind of just flitted about, nothing pressing. When I got dressed, I laid across the bed and I checked social media probably for about 20 minutes before I even left the room. And yeah, I have an Apple Watch, guys. I got this for my birthday. And it's making sounds and doing stuff, so I'm getting used to it. But anyway, I just kind of went throughout my day and, did what I had to do in the early part of the day. And everything kind of just came together. I wrote a piece for Leap Taken over the blog. So it's been pretty good. So I decided I wanted to, I was feeling pretty light, airy, and it's really beautiful outside. Opened all the windows up, which is why you hear so much noise. I promise you, I do not actually live on a main street. We are in a subdivision, but we're near the edge of it. So on the other side of the big, supposedly soundproof wall, is a main strip. So yeah, that's why. I didn't think about it at the time. I didn't know that would be an issue. But anyway, I love my house. I don't care. So I burnt my sage and used the Palo Santo. I thought I would prepare something. I kind of just went on the fly with words about purification and about cleansing and stuff like that. When I burned the sage and the Palo Santo, I just kind of stayed in my newfound altar space that I'm using, and I burned it exclusively over in that area. I put on my essential oils in my diffuser. I used that, and it's really just been a very positive day, and the energy just feels so good in here. Definitely because of that, but I was starting from a high vibrational point, and it got me to really thinking. And I'm like, one of the pieces I want to give a little bit about how I practice my witchcraft is because of honestly, the traditional marriage that I have. I don't work outside the home. I work, I'm a stay-at-home wife. And a lot of that has given me the gift of time and freedom. The freedom to learn, to practice in relative solitude most of the time, or even if my family is here, everybody understands, this is who I am and what I do. But it affords me the luxury and of time to learn and to put into practice. So after I burned the sage and I went around the entire house doing so, and then I, of course, ended up with the Palo Santo at my altar space, and just kind of I wanted to work in that area to get rid of any negative energy and all that sort of stuff. But and the final sort of purification. So I had this candle sitting here on this space that I still hadn't lit since the first day of spring, or a couple days before. That was the intention. But I didn't feel like lighting that candle. And I didn't push myself or force myself, well, you should be lighting that candle. No, I didn't. So instead, I waited till now, and I'm glad I did, because in that moment, it felt so natural. I just, instead of, I have different techniques to sort of encode energy into objects. But one of the classic ones, and one of the most simplest ones, is just touch the object and kind of just go in your mind's eye into whatever it is. See what you want to happen. See it. And I just did that with rapid really pictures. in my mind of what they meant to me. You know, me, my mind, body, spirit, we were all connected, and we were connecting to this candle and putting that imagery that I was rapidly seeing into this candle. Instead of using words, I allowed myself see just to see what it is that I was wanting, what is I was hoping and wishing and eventually manifesting. I was building that, like, you know, that energy in my mind's eye using visualization. And as I did that, I was transferring it using my body, my hands into the candle. And it felt right. It felt positive. It didn't feel, um, there wasn't anything there to leave me with doubt that I did this the right way, or that I should be doing, oh, well, I should have added oil, or I skipped a step. None of that. It was what was perfect. So I lit the candle, and yeah, I just sort of let that burn a little bit. And I don't, it's a 7-day candle. So I felt really positive about that. And again, that sort of spontaneous moment is possible because I'm home, because I'm a stay at home wife. And I kind of wanted, I'm not saying this as a point like, oh, look at me. Well, yeah, I am. Look at me. But look at me and then look at you. Is whoever, male, female, it really doesn't matter at this point. But if you're someone, especially if you kind of fall in line with like to me, hedge witch, cottage witch, kitchen witch, you might already kind of be a little bit there. It's not to say that you don't want to do other things. I do other things. I do these videos. I write. I have the blog where I write. And when I say I write, I'm writing books. um, I'm a budding novelist. Well, I should stop saying I'm actually a novelist because I'm doing the actual work. It's painstakingly difficult. I thought it would be a lot more easier, but such as, anything worth having, right? Putting a little effort into it, a lot of effort into it. But yeah, this whole lifestyle that I have is something that attributes, or the fact that I can have this lifestyle is why I'm able to be a better witch. So, what I'm suggesting, if you're someone who is even open to the concept of being a stay at home mom, stay at home wife, if you kind of can see in your mind's eye, yeah, I can see me cleaning the house and doing spells throughout the day, or when I'm cooking dinner, adding a little something, something from a magical perspective. If you can see yourself, you know, wow, if you can see yourself running errands and, having crystals on you at all times to open yourself up to prosperity and necessarily, some to guard you against whatever negative entity or forces or energy is out there, or for healing, or you see yourself doing maybe even volunteer work and having the freedom to do that, especially if you want to work with animals or whatever, right? Um, Without having to juggle a full-time job somewhere. If you kind of see that a little bit, put that energy out into the universe so you can have that life. I think there's this thing that we have going on that we tell, now I'm going to say specifically young women, oh, excuse me, this hair, young women, I think I made it crazier. You know what? Let me leave this alone. Anyway, young women. I think we tell young women that they kind of have to choose career only, and basically, there's this idea that there's choice, but not to be a stay-at-home wife, not to be a homemaker. That's a choice too. It still is. And I've been hearing, as I'm at home reading these comments um, online, that's stirring about how it's impossible to live on one income in this day and age. And I'm like, wow, is it? Because I know myself and quite a few other women who were doing it. Some of them have quite a few children. So really, that's interesting. We didn't know that you couldn't live on one income. And to get more into the mundane aspect of that, you got to be willing to maybe move from the area that you live in. if that's something you want to entertain. If you live in a big city and rents are high, mortgages is high, and you can't really afford to live there barely as is with two incomes, um, chances are you're probably not going to make it on one. So maybe you want to live outside of that. And this concept, well, that's where I'm from. That's where my family is. You can visit them. Your family will be the family that you're making, and those will be extended family. Yeah, that's an interesting concept, but it's a whole mind shift. It's a whole way of thinking. Um, and once you kind of find somebody you're comfortable with, opening yourself up to that, and it's really a vulnerable place to be in because financially you're dependent upon one person. I mean, you can have other things going on. Maybe you do. Maybe you have savings. Maybe you have some sort of passive income coming in. Whatever the situation is, the point is you're at home. You're at home, and your primary focus is home. So once that's the case, and you're a practicing witch, let me tell you something. It opens the door to magic. It opens the door to really creating that witchy lifestyle. I realized all along I was a cottage witch um, years ago because I was like, well, to me, cottage witchery is everything. A little bit, it's a little bit of kitchen witch, a little hedge witch, a little green witch, um, little hoodoo thrown in there, and eclectic witch, and everything, all of that sort of stuff. It's a little bit of everything because cottage witch to me is the focus is on home, mostly protection. I'm not gonna lie, mostly protective and purifications and cleansings and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm really into that sort of stuff. Um, and fits my Aries nature, action oriented. Uh, but I love that I even know this and I can explore all this because I've had time. I have carefully crafted a very witchy lifestyle that's so seamless. If you ever watch The Good Witch on Hallmark, I love that show because it kind of reminds me a little bit of how I do things. It's very subtle, um, but it has a big impact. There's actual change. I'm not going around in the village and helping everybody. And I don't have a store at this point. That's not what I'm talking about. I meant the overall subtle aspect of how Cassie Nightingale, that's the lead character, how she works her magic, and it's so sweet, it's so subtle, and but it works. So combination of that, and I guess if we're talking TV, Bewitched, because I'm a housewife, right? Except I don't have to hide things from my Darren. I don't have a Darren who doesn't understand, who knows but doesn't want me to practice. So it's not like that. He knows and he understands that I practice. So we're open. That's also another part of this, having an open dialogue and communication with your significant other, your husband, or whatever, so that you can even freely practice while you're a stay at home wife. And that may seem like a tall order, um, but I really don't think it is because I come across men who really just, as long as you're giving them what they want, you're who they want to be with, they take you how you are. That's who you are. And if you came in with, certain beliefs and they were attracted to you from the beginning, usually they still are. Of course, there's exceptions, but that's okay. That's not the guy for you. You shouldn't have to pretend not to believe in something or pretend to believe in something else just to be with somebody. I'm not advocating that. And I never had to do that, by the way, with my husband in the beginning when we dated or otherwise. That never happened. Um, but yeah, I kind of just wanted to get on and kind of promote this lifestyle that I'm living because part of this witchy life means being a stay-at-home wife. Oh, I rhymed. But anyway, did I? It's a chance for me to have fun and quiet reflection and so much more. And I am just so appreciative. And, I'm in such a gracious mode right now. I'm very relaxed. I swear, no drinking. I don't do drugs, and I don't smoke any kind of weed or anything. Never smoked weed before. Fun fact about me. But anyway, yeah, this is all just this natural, giddy, relaxing feeling and all that. This vibe that I'm on. This is all very natural. This is witchcraft. This is magic. This is how it works. Intentionally just vibrating higher. um, because you can, because it's possible, because I can. But hopefully, you found this a little bit inspiring if you're somebody who can envision all that stuff I was talking about and seeing your life a certain way. And, that's part of your witchy lifestyle in your mind's eye. And, that's how you want to do it. Do it. Do it. You want to reach out to someone. So, use magic to do that. Reach out to someone and, start, get a relationship started. It's funny because I know people say it's so hard to meet people. And I know I've been married and I totally understand I'm not single, so I might be speaking a bit out of turn. I don't think it's difficult to meet people. I think it's might be challenging to meet the right person for you, but not difficult in a sense, or not impossible. Challenging but not impossible. But you need to stay optimistic, and I think somebody's out there for you. You just have to be very clear about what you want and what you're willing to do. What you're willing to give in a relationship. Um, and if the person's interested, they'll stick. They'll be in for it. They'll get with it. But enough about that. I'm feeling great. I'm gonna probably have some herbal tea to kind of just ground a little bit more, because I'm just feeling like a natural high right now. So I'm like feeling so happy. I put out, and I'm just gonna tell you guys and share it with you. I did some prosperity work not too long ago. I did a video, I guess it was a month or so ago. I did some almonds, or in the fall, I don't even remember what it was. But I was doing that, and I was doing other types of prosperity magic, and it's all come together. And again, when you do magic, it doesn't always happen exactly, and I leave room for the mystery of it. I leave room for the whimsy. I don't need to know exactly where the money comes from, or where the abundance shows, or what avenue it comes in. So I was very grateful to receive multiple sources of money and gifts and things like that. So yeah, so that's another reason to vibrate high. But anyway, thank you for watching and staying with me this long in my bit of rambling. Um, if you've enjoyed the video, please like it. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And if you have, thanks again for subscribing.